What? Okay, well, now we're ready to start. Okay. Welcome, everybody. And I want to say welcome to all the smart, busy people that are on, because we know that people that are busy and smart always want to do the best thing for themselves and for their families. So welcome, for sure. We're going to talk about allergies today, the natural way. And we're just going to cover like some facts about allergies, a natural approach, and some other things. So let's start sharing our screen. Here. Okay, can everybody see a screen now?
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I'm successful. That's it, I'm done. Okay, anyway, we're going to talk about normalizing the immune system, fighting back when you do get sick, and we have some great testimonials for some folks on tonight, so we're real anxious. We fell in love with this little picture. I hope you love it, because we love this little girl. For sure. So I want to start just by sharing a little bit about myself. I'm Linda Burkheiser, and again, I always like to share that I am a mom, a grandmom, a nurse, somebody that cares about people. And I always feel that when a door closes, a window opens. And that happened for me actually almost 40 years ago, when my husband had a bad accident and became a quadriplegic, and our lives were turned upside down. And again, the nice thing for us is when that window opened, it was Shackley. And it was a way that we could use the things that we really believed in, like living naturally and doing that and sharing with other people and helping my husband to live 30 years instead of the 5 to 10 years that they said he was going to live. So again, it's just, that's my story. And that's why I do this, because I think I have to help other people. So let's get started. Allergy facts. And I love these facts because I think a lot of people, you know, understand allergies, but again, you know, they say, oh, well, that's when people get sick and blah, 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 you know. But anyway, it's an overreaction to a human, the human immune system to a foreign protein substance, and it's called an allergen. There are actually 60 million people that have asthma and allergies, 1 out of 4. So we should be able to reach a lot of people and help a lot of people, because almost everybody has some type of allergy. It has increased 18% over the last 10 years. And that's really, really impressive. Now, we also have asthma, and people don't realize a lot of times that asthma usually is attached to an allergy. 20 million people suffer from asthma, and asthma in children has quadrupled over the last 30 years. And 1 out of 12 children in the US have asthma. And I just checked that statistic because I wanted to make sure that I was telling you the right thing. So we have a lot of issues that surround allergies. I like to go over a little bit about medication, because, you know, what happens is people just, you know, go to the store and they say, oh, I have allergies, I've got to take something. And now all these old medicines are like over the counter now. You can go in and buy Benadryl or Zyrtec. You can just go and buy all these things. And people take it thinking that there aren't any side effects. But we know there really are a lot of side effects. And you can see here, delayed growth in children. That's really scary. And over here, dry mouth, drowsiness. But according to the Mayo Clinic, they're saying that children should not be given a lot of these medications because they're really kind of dangerous for them. And I have a cute little testimonial that I'll share with you. My friend Maureen, who couldn't be on tonight, was just a Shackley user, but she was just used a basic program and, you know, never said very much. One day she called me and she said, Linda, I have to share with you. She said, I didn't realize it. I'm coming out with all these side effects. I'm having dry mouth, or I'm having more cavities, drowsiness, and I'm tired all the time. And she went over and over and she said, I picked up these medications that I'm buying over the counter, and I have every single side effect of these medications. And so as a result, she said, I got to get off of these. This is not good. This is not good for my general health. And she did. She got off and she started using more natural, and she was able to substitute and make it work for her. So we're going to talk today about something that I think is very important, and that is normalizing your immune system. And again, this is not the formal explanation of immunity, which you would take about let's see, about a month in school to learn. But what we know today is it's not about having a hyperimmune system or a hypoimmune system. You want your immune system to become more normalized. And that's what we try to do when when we're working on helping for prevention. So we want to normalize your immune system. So what happens is, imagine your immune system is a circle, and or not immune system, but imagine this is the allergic reaction. And what happens many times is you never complete that whole you never complete that whole reaction. So your body then stays in a state where you then become very allergic to a lot of things because you don't fully recover from it. So it's really kind of interesting. We are going to talk about restoring the health of your digestive tract, removing toxins from your environment. And this over here that I don't think people can see, it was a Dr. Shackley thing, but it basically said, follow the laws of nature and you'll never be wrong. And that's a Dr. Shackley quote. So when we say normalizing, this is one of the things that I preach all the time. I always tell people that when I do meetings, I always say, I'm a person that wants to help you build healthy cells. Because if we start building healthy cells, we build healthy bodies and we become very, very strong people. So part of normalizing your immune system is getting down there. You know, it's not like, okay, I have an allergy, so now I have to take a medication, or I have an allergy and now maybe I should take a vitamin C. But what you want to do is you want to build your healthy cells and that builds your immune system, and then you're into the prevention mode, which where we want to be. So I put this down as these are things that people do. We're not going to talk about any specific program tonight, except if anybody wants to share what they're doing themselves. But I want to introduce all these things so that you can go and you can say to us, gee, I'm interested, and then we can help you to kind of figure out how all this would fit for you. I love the prove a challenge. And so I put that first because I always think if you want to build your immune system, this is like a no-brainer. You get a protein shake, you get a vitalizer, which is a strip of vitamins, and you also will get a cleanse with it. And so you're on the road to building your immune system. And then there is this wonderful product called Nutriferon that I do have to mention. It's amazing. Dr. Kojima, who actually was a discovered interferon, if you know that name from before. Interferon helped people that were very, very sick with cancers, with hepatitis, with AIDS. But the problem with interferon, when they gave them that as a drug, it was actually an animal product, it made people very, very sick. So you're getting sick to get better. So Dr. Kojima wanted to do something natural. And so he went out and found 3 plants, and I'm not even going to name them because you'll forget, but 3 plants that actually, when you put them together, he called them Nutriferon, and then it gave your body the chance to make its own interferon, which is just tremendous. So these are all things that people do to build their immune system. Oh, no. But the Nutriferon, I will tell you, the people called me and said, I don't have the allergies I used to have. I can't believe this stuff. It is a fantastic product. But when colds or flus or allergy symptoms appear, then we want to strike back too. So when you strike back, what do? We do extra things, like we do extra alfalfa, extra C's maybe. These are suggestions. Garlic, defend and resist, which is echinacea, or the immune formula I, which is a combination of things that tends to boost your immune system. And then over on the side here, let's see if I can move all of you guys over just a little bit here. I'll get rid of you for a second there. Over here, you can see that I love this one here because this is something that we call triple defense boost. And this is exactly what the CDC says that we should be taking right now for our immune system. So it has vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and then it also has the adaptogens like ginseng and things like that that make you feel better, and other things like it has echinacea, it has some elderberry, of course, elderberry, which makes it taste so good. And this wonderful thing about it is it's a drink. So just nice to know that these are all things that people use, and some of these may be right for you. So now we want to make sure we don't forget our kids. And so again, this is Myology. We have a Myology for kids that are just wonderful. So when they're building their immune system, they're using the super immunity gummies, the omega jellies, super vitamin gummies, and that comes in a little pack called Myology for them. A lot of parents will also have them add a meal shake. The kids seem to like a meal shake, which is a nice way of getting more protein in them. Alfalfa is wonderful, especially I've talked to moms from years ago, and they said alfalfa is just great for the kids. And guess what? You can crush it up and stick it in applesauce.
Yeah.
And my kids always thought, until they were at least teenagers, that applesauce was always green because that alfalfa was right in there for them. And chewable vitamin C. So kids even love green applesauce. I'm going to stick my grandson, Lucas, I called him because he's my vitamin person. He's like just turned 16 and he's been using them for years. He carries them wherever he goes. And I said, what do you do for allergies? And he goes, oh, grandma, well, alfalfa every day alfalfa. But when I have a scratchy throat, then I go for the chewable vitamin C too. So I think it's nice to hear, other things also. And then we have to hit the digestive tract. And that is very, very important because again, a lot of people will have things like an overgrowth of yeast. If your body is not working properly, this is all part of your immune system. So again, you really want to make sure that you are doing the things that help your immune system. And many folks, and I'm saying it this way because I want to make sure that if you do an assessment and you find out what's right for you, but many folks will use alfalfa, garlic, Optiflora, Herblex. Some of these things are actually in our cleanse, which is wonderful. So if you do the cleanse, you have a chance to help your immune system right there and help your GI tract. The other part of it is toxins. Obviously, toxins depress your immune system. So if we remove the toxins in our house as much as possible by using safe cleaners, but also by watching what we put on our skin, our hair. As a matter of fact, when my cleaning lady came the first time and she came and I went, what are you using to clean my house? Because I already gave her the regimen that said you have to use these non-toxic. and she goes, nothing. And then she said, oh, I just washed my hair. And I go, oh, I'm so sorry. But that was see, for me, that was so strong. And I thought, don't clean my house with that. I'm like, I want to stay, I keep my house non-toxic, so it's a real thing. And it's not meaning that you're like a picky uni person. It's just that it really annoys people and it really hurts you because those scents a lot of times are not natural scents. And that's part of the problem. So it's so important if you bring in things from the outside, make sure that your things will outgas for years. When I brought in a new sofa years ago and I had to run 2 air purifiers next to it because I couldn't tolerate the smell and it was not even treated. It was just and it was a high-end thing. So, it's something to be aware of. And we're going to go right now. I want to go right to our testimonials because we want to make sure that we are staying in our time frame here. So our first person to talk is going to be Rosanna Montecalvo again, and Dan. We're actually one of our first Shackley friends, which is so great. And she lives in Ohio, and I know she's going to tell you a little bit about allergies in her mother, and she's got a great thing to say. So we'll let you go ahead, Rosanna.
Okay, hello everyone. Well, I love Linda, and they were 2 of our very first Shackley friends that we ever met in Shackley, and we have stayed friends forever. So she is pretty much stuck with me and Dan, that's for sure. And I was born inheriting my mom's severe and debilitating migraines. Now, my husband here, Dan, he ended up dating me for 6 years and marrying me anyways, even with my migraines, just like my dad went and married my mother. I don't know if they ever had regrets, but they never told us. Anyways, they were always just there for us. And 3 of my 4 grandparents in Italy, because my parents immigrated from Italy, 3 of my 4 grandparents all suffered migraines, and so did many other relatives, both male and female, young and old. It didn't seem to matter. We all just seemed to have that. When my parents did immigrate to the United States, Mom suddenly was blasted with horrible allergies out of the blue. She had never had any allergies. She had never had any allergy problems, no meds, no nothing. She comes to America and look what it gave her. One day we were just cleaning out ivy in the backyard, and I was little at the time, maybe 6 or 7, and I had to run and get Daddy because she kept sneezing and sneezing and finally passed out just right there on the ground. And Dad had to get her to the hospital. They tested her, and she suddenly, as the test results came back, was allergic now to dust, mold, mildew, foods, florals, animals like cattle and sheep. She had never even lived on a farm or been near a farm. She lived in a city in Italy. So where did the animal allergy come from? Household and laundry cleaner chemicals. And she collapsed twice actually in our local grocery store, just walking down the aisle to go buy their detergents. And so rushed by ambulance to the hospital. They did all those tests on her, and that's when they found out she was allergic, highly allergic to all those things. She went on shots. She had 2 shots a week. One, she would get her regular allergy shot. She would lay down for about 20 minutes and have a serious negative reaction, as the specialist called it, to her allergy shot, and he would counteract it with another one. She took oral medications prescribed and from the drugstores over the counter. That just became her normal life. That was the way she could live. In the meantime, we stayed off, she and I, because I developed migraines starting at about the age of 5. She was 4, I was 5 when these started. So we were on the migraine diet. She's on all these medications and these shots, and things just weren't looking up. Now, my baby brother was born 13 years after me, and of course, he was born with most of Mom's allergies. And so he had to get shots early on. He only needed 1, but also inhalers, etc. And so even Cleveland Clinic could not offer us relief from our migraines or our allergies. So we lived at health food stores before it was fashionable, when people thought we were weird and we had to drive all the way to Pittsburgh to find one. And we used vinegar, baking soda, natural homemade soaps. Good thing Mom learned how to do that in Italy. And that's what we used for all our personal needs and our household needs. And after I started my migraines, my parents were doctoring with us in Cleveland Clinic. And we found out over the years that no medications, no biofeedback, no yoga, massage, nothing worked for our migraines. Nothing worked for our allergies. We just took that as just going to be our way of life. And neither did our health food store vitamins work, although we would take them because they were considered the best, and all of our doctors. And even though they had synthetics in them, they were considered the best at the time. We knew nothing about Shaklee. No one ever approached us, even though Shaklee had been around for years and years and years before that. So I tried Shaklee only to prove, I know this sounds horrible, but only to prove it could not be different or work for me and my mom. Okay, I wasn't that skeptical. I mean, I'm not a skeptical person. We had just tried everything. So why would this be different? But miraculously, it did work. I said I would try it for 2 months. The first month I'd get my money back because there's a 100% money back guarantee if you don't like something in Shaklee. And the second month would be my donation to my cousin's cause, because she had convinced me to try these. She and some woman named Dolores Mock, who she sent to us. So why I say miraculously it did work, because October 10th of this year is going to be my 34th year anniversary of my last migraine. I know the date of my last migraine, and here's the guy that was with me, my husband Dan, to confirm that. All I did was switch from my health food store vitamins to Shaklee supplementation, Shaklee vitamins. Mom joined in, not for her migraine. She thought she was too old by that time, but she thought maybe it could get her to accept her allergy shot once a week without having that violent negative reaction. And so my mom didn't have any high hopes, but she tried it. My mom went on to have no migraines until the age of 90 when she passed. no allergy medications or shots, no oral medications whatsoever, nothing. We are walking miracles, as we like to call it. Now, both of our daughters benefited too, because then when I went on to have babies, our youngest daughter, Michelle, she was born with sensitivities. Michelle
So,
had
so
total.
Rosanna, I was going to say, I know, because we want to hear from Gia too. Why
Okay.
don't you tell us how that led you? Why, so then you decided to help other people because of that? I mean, because I want to hear
Well, the thing with me was I had to share. There was no way that I could just keep this all to myself. So that's once that happened to also our daughter Michelle, I just started researching everything about Shackley, and Shackley was great to send any information that I needed or have it be public. Everything was public, and so our pediatrician loved all the information.
right,
What I did is I started to share with everybody and just let them know, because as mom used to say, it's a sin to keep all of this goodness to ourselves and just not tell other
right.
people. So
That's
no
right.
one has anything to lose and everyone has everything to gain in simply switching brands to Shackley.
Right.
And your health will thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, well, we want to go on because we want to hear from Gia. And Gia, I'm sorry we didn't put your last name on there.
That's all right.
We
I
had the
like
Monte
seeing
Carlo
that
part.
there. I don't see that very often. Yes.
There you
So
go. Well, so Gia is, and Gia is Rosanna's daughter, and she also lives in Ohio, has two small boys, and we'd love to hear what you think.
sure. So as my mom said, this October will be 34 years since she had her last migraine, and also 34 years since Shackley. I will be 39 this year, so I was about 4-ish when my mom started with Shackley. And while I didn't inherit any of the allergies that my grandma had, or the migraines like my mom, I did have a drug reaction to one we think that the pediatrician attributes to this. One of my vaccines when I was a little kid that contained pertussis. And the doctor thinks that I got a drug allergy to pertussis from this vaccine, because for a couple years after that, until Shackley came around, I would have what they termed as fevers of unknown origin, basically high fevers that came out of nowhere and would last, however long, over the course of several years. And nothing really worked for that. My pediatrician went everywhere to learn about this phenomenon and try to figure it out. And that's how he kind of came to the conclusion that it could have been attributed to the pertussis in the vaccine. So when my mom found Shackley, they had the kids line of chewable vitamins. So I started taking the chewable Vital E, chewable C, the meal shakes, even alfalfa and EPA at the time, which is now the Omega Guard. And over time, these disappeared. And, obviously, like my mom said, everything was run through our doctors, and the pediatrician was all on board with this. He, was fully seeing the results of the Shackley vitamins. And because of that, I grew up as a Shackley kid, pretty healthy for the most part, besides, the normal things that will come and go. But I had never missed school, and I continue taking all my vitamins still to this day. And one thing that I found was interesting was when I was pregnant with both of my sons, my doctor would not let me get the Tdap, or whatever the adult version of the diphtheria, pertussis, whatever else is in it, shot while I was pregnant, because he thought that I might have similar reactions with the fevers or whatever, and pass it on to my kids. So he was fully on board with all, vitamins during that time too. And I will say, having had kids, my oldest is more sensitive to allergies. He has a couple food allergies. And, I give them all the same vitamins that we just went through on a couple slides ago for the kids. And that has helped a ton, especially with some seasonal allergies that he will have. And I must mention too, that with some of his food allergies, he was more susceptible to things like hives. And it's not just the vitamins, but the blue basic H, when you mix a little bit of it with water and rub it on the hives, it helps the reaction to calm down and the histamines to settle down too. So, I've lived it. My parents have lived it. My grandma, my kids now. So this is multiple generations of, Shackley having a positive effect on all of this. So thanks for finding it, Mom, because it has helped us all.
And may I
Great.
add that you had 2 Shackley pregnancies using only the Shackley vitamins, not the regular prenatals.
For sure. Thank you so much. And you taught me something about the hives. I had a child that had hives. I wish I had known. I had basic H back then. Would have been great.
It does.
Okay. Thank you. You're just wonderful. And Sue Rand is our third speaker. And of course, you see this wonderful puppy here. The reason we have this puppy here is that Sue's going to share something about her dog, Boo. Bo, right? Bo, Boo. Go ahead, Sue. Go ahead, Sue.
Hi, I'm Sue Rand. Most of you know me. I'm a realtor in Gig Harbor. I've been using Shackley products for about 30 years. I love them, love to share them. I love that I feel as good as I do and can stay active and keep up with my grandkids. And I want my friends to be able to stay active with me. So I'm really promoting my business to them. We've got some friends that are feeling the difference, and they've got grandkids, and so it's just kind of fun. So I want it to be my retirement gig. I'm not always going to be a realtor. It's getting old. So I'm working on building a business because I truly believe in the company and the products. But today is about allergies. And for me, it's all about Bo. Bo is what we call our COVID dog. We got him in the spring of 2020. He was a year old. We adopted him. He, little did we know, had like a ton of allergies, food allergy, skin allergies, all kinds of stuff. The vet immediately put him on all kinds of medications. We had to go in every 6 or 8 weeks and do blood work to make sure that his liver and his kidneys were okay from all the medication. And I got really tired of it and kind of anxious about it. I didn't want to have to worry about his kidneys and his liver, and I didn't want to keep him on the medication. So I took matters into my own hands with my little Shackley medicine chest. And the first thing I did was give him a bath in basic H. I had heard from other people that it was really good for skin conditions. So I would put some in his bath water and let him stand in it. And then I mixed it with his shampoo, and then I just used it as his shampoo. And I noticed that between his toes, where it had been all pink before, where his allergies showed up, wasn't pink anymore. And then I started him on alfalfa. I knew alfalfa was good for people allergies, so I thought, let's get him on that. He eats grass, so I figured he'd eat alfalfa. I added 6 to his food dish every day, and he would leave 2. And the next day I'd put 6 more in, and he'd eat 4 and leave 2. And so I mentioned it to Jane Sefton, and because she's the one that had mentioned it, the benefits of alfalfa. And she said, sometimes animals know what's right for them. So now he gets 4 and he eats all 4. So in the meantime, we had gone back to have blood work done, and his blood work was looking good. And I had not refilled his prescriptions. I did not tell the vet that, but I just didn't. I think we were still on 1. I think 2 had run out, and we were still on the 1. So then I got him going. I thought, well, this is kind of working pretty well. So I got him going on omegas, which he loves. They taste like fish. So he eats those right out of my hand. And then probiotics, I sprinkled those on his food. So then we go back again to the vet for another blood work check, and everything's good. He hasn't been on meds for a while, little did the vet know. But the vet said, hey, keep on doing what you're doing. Everything looks really great. So we just take our vitamins together every morning, and I am so relieved that I don't have to worry about his liver and his kidneys. And it also just really reinforces that Shackley is the company that I want to do business with as a retirement gig.
That's great.
Happy for that.
Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you. That was wonderful. And as we said, you can always think it's between your ears that you're getting results, but, Bo just has to go to the vet and the vet has to just tell him, he can't be in his imagination for sure, for sure. Well, thank you everybody for being on here. And I have one more slide here because we do have a thank you gift for anybody that has not done this, that's new, because we think there's only one you and you're pretty essential. Taking care of yourself is really important. If you would like to do our free assessment called Myology for your own personalized vitamin plan, please put your name in the chat and we will make sure that you will get it. If you have any questions, go back to the person that sent you here, and I'm sure they will help you put together a plan of action that would be really good for you. So thank you, and I would like to say good night, and thank you all for being smart people and for being on tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Linda.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks,
That was
everyone.
terrific.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.
everybody.
Very good. Thank you all for sharing.
Hey, have a great
Yeah.
rest of the day, everybody.
Wonderful
Night.
share, people.